Welcome to I Am the Cute One, the most chaotic school dance in the podcast universe.
Listen, you got through the week like we got through 9/11.
And a recession.
And the Special K diet.
And the time that James Franco hosted the Oscars.
And Ben Platt's wig and Dear Evan Hansen.
TGIF.
Hello, I am Donnie and I am the cute one.
And I'm Chelsea and I'm the cute one.
TGIF, cuties.
TGIF, and happy almost Valentine's Day. Happy Friday the 13th.
Spooky, spooky. I got in my bus accident on Friday the 13th. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Cancel clear. In 5th grade, my bus accident.
Of course. How could I forget? I thought you had been in another accident, because let's not forget, you tell me way too much about yourself. Things I would argue I never needed to know about your life. But last year when you got hit by that bicycle, I didn't find out about it for months.
I'm still rolling that secret out to some people. Like, whenever a bike passes by too fast, I get jumpy, and then I tell whoever I'm with, oh, this is like when I got hit by the bike. I have PTSD. And they're like, you got hit by a bike? I say, oh, yes.
And then I apologized to him.
I did apologize. Also, I do hear the delicious dish in my voice. And usually by the end of the episode, it's better. But I think part of the delicious dish voice is because I am living with someone whose like feelings I care about now. So like when I was with Quinn, I would scream like I was fucking at a rock concert when we recorded. And I only whispered when I was talking about him and had to look at the door. But now this wall right here on the other side is her room. So I never want to be too loud. So that's a part of it. But also with that train of thought, not just about the recording, like in general, I'm always afraid of being loud now. So this morning I went to make something in the microwave. Why are microwaves so loud?
So loud. The beeps are unnecessarily loud. Now I say that, but I do need that beep, 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 beep when you've forgotten to pick your things out, because I more often than not just leave the food I've microwaved in there instead of eating it.
But that makes sense. A reminder beep makes sense. But like a everything else beep, like you're already there. Why does that need to beep? You see the screen that says what you're typing in. We don't need an accompanying sound.
And we don't need to have to slam the microwave. There's no quiet way of shutting a microwave. You would think that technology has advanced so far. If we have phones that can look at our face and give our information to the government, surely we can have a microwave that you just quietly close. You know?
I agree. My boyfriend and I were recently at a friend's house, and the friend ran out to run an errand. So the two of us were making food in the microwave. When we went to use it, the handle has like a button on the back of the handle that you like press up and it unhooks the thing and pulls out. We didn't know that. We had like a spatula in the top. Like we were breaking into it like it was a bank vault.
I hate that. I hate unnecessary child locks, because I will be foiled by a child lock every single time. One time when my prescription changed and then there was like a little thing you got to flick down before you open it, I didn't take my medicine for 3 days.
I'm getting to the point now. My nephew is starting to crawl. He's like 7 months old, I think, maybe 6. I don't know. My family's house. You come in to this like little lobby is what I call it. I don't know the real word, a lobby. And then you can either go downstairs to my sister's house or upstairs to my parents' house. And we usually just hang up at my parents' house, but there's no door to my parents' house to the lobby. My sister has a door, but there's no door to my parents' house to the lobby. It's just steps. But now there's going to be a gate there when I go, and I'm going to hate that.
When I see a baby gate, I don't even try these days. I just hope that my vagina is okay when I step over, because I'm not going to try to figure out what lever you pull and what you pull up and then what you yank on and what you kiss and ask for forgiveness from a deity to be able to pass through.
And a gate down the hallway, I would be able to step over, no problem. But I'm nervous about the steps, because you're either like going up higher than you're supposed to or down lower than you're supposed to. So I'm going to have to learn how to open this gate.
Godspeed.
The good news is I'll be able to lock those fucking dogs out.
That is
You're
good
on that
news.
side, honey.
Well, speaking of dogs,
Uh-huh.
I've got some AB updates.
Okay.
Again, I talk shit about this bitch every week. She is a lovely dog. She's very good, except when she cannot see me. And then she loses her goddamn mind. So she's only ever home by herself like 1 hour a day, max. When I leave for work and Dr. Bald comes home with the girls, there's 1 sweet hour a day where she has to be home alone. And we've tried to put her in a crate. She is the great Houdini. She escapes, her crate still locked. No idea how she does it, because speaking of childproof, you have to like pinch two sides to like make the little pointy things go in to be able to open the door. There's
Mm.
no way that she should be able to do this without having thumbs. But somehow she's outside the crate. The crate is locked, and we have child locks now on our pantry. She still finds a way to eat those chips. And those chips are opened like she has thumbs. I honestly, at this point, am like, are my neighbors coming in my house, letting her out, eating my chips, and leaving to fuck with me?
Uh-huh.
So, all this to say, baby girl's got separation anxiety. And so today we are getting a new crate. I've gotten some anxiety treat toys for her that I guess are going to stimulate her brain. And then I got her own little dog stuffed animal that you can put in the microwave, circles become circles, to heat it up, and then it has a little heartbeat. So it's hopefully going to help her feel like she has her litter mates with her.
Oh, that's cute.
So I'm just officially becoming that dog mom because I'm hoping for the best. But if it doesn't work, I've spent a lot of money for this anxious dog.
But I
have to
don't
get her
think
a
you're alone.
therapist.
You're not that dog mom by yourself, though, because I was at my friend's house this week. This is our dog episode, I guess. This is our very own dog day afternoon.
The dog days are over.
Yeah, I'm robbing a bank to get my trans wife surgery.
What? Say that again? What did you just say?
I said...
Oh, I think my Botox just kicked in.
Oh, good. You
Because I
can't
was
move
just
that?
horrified, and yet smooth and silky.
Love that. No, I said, this is our dog episode. It's a dog day afternoon. I'm just robbing a bank to pay for my trans wife surgery. That's the plot of Dog Day Afternoon, starring Al Pacino.
Okay. You know, with context, it does make it slightly better. But the thing about you, Donnie, like you are pop adjacent in that sometimes you say things and I'm like, sure. Was this a Mad Lib you did in 5th grade that just stuck with you? Was this just a string of words you put together that made you giggle? Okay. That's crazy that that's a movie. Maybe we should cover that in Morally Corrupt Month.
Oh, maybe. I've never seen it, so I don't know if it's morally corrupt or not. But they're putting it on Broadway with the guy with the broken nose.
Who's the guy with the broken nose?
John Barenthal or whatever.
Oh, why did I
He
ask?
looks like this. He's very hot. Anyway.
Does he have a broken nose or is that just how his nose looks?
I assume broken or undercooked. Like, that's not a normal nose. Something's fucked.
Something ain't right.
Yeah. Okay. So my friend told me, and I think maybe I talked about this last week. My friend said she would see Scream 7 with me, but she had never seen any of the other Screams.
You did talk about this.
So then we've been having a little marathon, and we're 4 movies in. She watched the first 4. And I will say, cuties, if you think you don't like Scream 3, watch it with someone who really doesn't. And then you'll get very defensive and say like, no, here's all the reasons it's great, you stupid bitch. And it will make you realize your love of the 3rd movie. Now, with that said, her dog started to like have a little panic attack or whatever starting Sunday. And we're 3 days in now. She can't figure it out. No rhyme or reason. So they don't have this microwavable heart or whatever. But,
well, if it works, I'll send her the link.
Oh, yeah. But they do have... I felt like I was at a spa. They put the dog in a full blanket and gave him his own pillow, and that calmed him down a little bit. But I was cold. Why don't I get that kind of service?
Yeah. Now, this is my karma because I used to make fun of my mom with her anxious dog, you might recall, R.I.P., but my nemesis, Barkley, who was named appropriately because the bitch never stopped barking for the 12 years she was alive.
Barkley was a girl?
Speaking of stealing money for your trans wife. Yeah.
That is a boy's name.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm shocked that on the traders, they don't get in trouble for, they always say, oh, that's a boy's knock, that's a girl's knock.
Do you know what I learned about the traders?
Huh.
Jam Jam did an interview and he said there's no reason that everybody is so bad at spelling people's names because in their rooms, they have packets similar to what you did with BB40 with everybody's picture, name, and pronouns.
Huh.
So this just tells me that nobody's studying that packet, which we knew.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Dorinda didn't know how to spell anybody's name.
That's true. Maybe she got the audiobook version.
Maybe. But anyway, with Barkley, my late great nemesis, I used to make fun of my mom because when it was a thunderstorm, my mom would have to go into their walk-in closet, lay on the floor with Barkley and put on spa music from her computer on YouTube. Now, I say she needed to. I don't think anybody needs to do that. But I used to make fun of her for that. But truly, I am like 2 crates and a comfort blankie away from doing that with AB.
let's talk about something else. We've talked about dogs for 15 minutes.
The other thing I did this week is watch the Olympics.
Okay.
It's a weird year because I'm not really feeling too patriotic,
No.
but I do love the Winter Olympics. I do love, speaking of the traitors, Tara Lipinski, Johnny Weir. Love to see what Hunger Games garb they've got going on.
Okay.
And I love the drama. Did you see the story about the Norwegian man who confessed to cheating right after winning his medal?
I didn't.
It was incredible. They're interviewing him after he's just won gold, I believe. And he says, it's been a hard couple months. 6 months ago, I met the love of my life. And 3 months ago, I made the worst mistake of my life and I cheated on her. So this was a real win for me.
I thought you meant he won and then say, like, I cheated. I'm
No.
doped up. That's crazy.
Now, it is crazy that all of this happened in 6 months. You met the love of your life 6 months ago, and then 3 months ago, you cheated on her.
Yeah, but he's an Olympian. Everything's fast, you know?
Yeah, and I think he's a speed skier.
Oh, see?
So to him, my God, that's like years. What'd you do this week?
I didn't watch the Olympics. I did watch the Super Bowl, which we'll get into the Super Bowl itself later. But
Okay.
I do want to talk about the party I was at. So I was one of the only sober people. And there is a point at a party where like dynamics change, you know, especially these Super Bowl parties. And it's a wonderful time. And I've always had a wonderful time when I was consuming as well. I still had a wonderful time, but in a different way, because they give a Jello shot at the start of every like section. So at the start of the first quarter, second quarter, when the halftime show starts, and then third quarter, fourth quarter. So by the end of the party, you have 5 Jello shots in addition to what you're just regularly
Right, like
drinking.
5 Jello shots in general is still 5 shots.
Yeah. So the mood definitely changed by the end. So like there was someone crying in one corner. There was someone like getting passionate, but not like upset about something in another room, whatever. But all this was happening when there was 5 minutes left of the very boring Super Bowl game. I heard someone behind me talking and say, oh, Donnie's probably going to make us play Traders Express. And I turned around and said, that wasn't in my head. Tonight's purpose was the Super Bowl.
I hate that. Donnie's going to make us play Traders Express. I would turn around and say, you want to play Traders Express, but you want me to be the one to gather everybody and make it happen.
You're embarrassed to say it. You can say you have fun doing it, especially because this person isn't a part of the friend group. It's someone that like only comes for the Super Bowl party. So he played last year and wanted to play again. That's fine. Say it. So he said, Donnie's making us play. And I was like, oh, I wasn't even going to, but we can after the game. So then when there was 5 minutes left, everyone was like, this is a boring game. One of the people at the party was like, okay, let's just get Traders Express going. We know how this game's going to end. So my friend that was hosting the party like started cutting out all the little slips, putting a T on 4 of them. We had like 15 players. It would have been the biggest version we ever played. I was ready. We all picked the cards. But then when we were waiting for one more person, the girl that was passionate in the other room was like holding her up, whatever. So then we were waiting for a little bit for that. But now the game was officially over and we were just waiting on this girl to finish her angry monologue in the other room. So then like 4 people left. And I was like, oh no, we're losing the plot.
Yeah.
So then after those 4 left, I said, well, I'm truly not getting anything out of it anymore. Like we're not playing Traders Express. The game is over and I'm not drunk. So I am also going to leave. So then me and my boyfriend left as well. And on the way home, Chelsea, I've never been more pissed off in my entire life. We both looked at our slips. Traitors, both of us. I felt like Sabrina in that one episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch where they go to Salem, Massachusetts on a field trip. And then at the end, the teacher tells everyone like, oh, we just wanted to see like hive mind. Nobody had a witch slip. And then Sabrina takes hers out and she was a witch.
Because she is a witch.
Yeah, magic. And I don't know how that related to me, but when me and my boyfriend both took our slips out when we were traitors, it did feel very Sabrina adjacent.
I love that for you.
Thank you. I always wanted to be Melissa Joan Hart.
Did you? So I remember you calling her Melissa Joan Fart repeatedly on this show. Let's move on to recommendations.
Okay.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, my recommendation is that everybody disconnect your ring cam and throw it in the garbage. Because
Speaking of dogs,
yeah. If you did not watch the Super Bowl, if you did not pay attention to the commercials, or if you were tricked by those insidious AI commercials. Somebody said that all of the AI commercials gave the same energy as a vampire trying to get you to invite them into your house. But the one Ring commercial where they're like, now there's this new free feature. Aren't we so nice? Turn it on and we can look for your lost dog. I need you all to hear me very clearly when I say They are not talking about dogs. Do not turn on that feature. Actually, remember, all cameras are cops. If you need to have surveillance, get a camera that is connected to your own hard drive that is not connected to the internet or is being uploaded anywhere. They are just collecting that information, and we are essentially helping people be hunted down. So please, if you have a Ring camera, get rid of it.
The commercials were bleak this year. The only commercial that really spoke to me the way a Super Bowl commercial should was Goodwill Dunkin'. There was a Dunkin' Donuts commercial that said before Goodwill Hunting was turned into a movie, it was supposed to be a sitcom in the 90s. So it was Ben Affleck playing the part he played in Goodwill Hunting, but then they had Urkel and Carlton from Fresh Prince and Newman from Seinfeld. Jennifer Aniston was on it as Rachel, and they had all these people playing themselves in the 90s. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
Yeah.
Not Mike Tyson calling us all fat and Ring cams being like, hey, we're going to hunt people down.
Yeah, it was crazy. Now, a commercial that really spoke to me, and this leads into my recommendation. I hate when stations or streaming networks know that the world is watching the Super Bowl and choose not to have something immediately after. You have all these people gathered. You have parties planned. You can use this time to then lead into something else. For instance, Survivor 2 starring Elizabeth Hasselbeck in the Australian outback. That was immediately after Survivor. Guess what my youth group did at that church party? Turned it on. Cloverfield.
I don't think I've ever heard a more on-brand sentence from you. That after the Super Bowl, you and your youth group surely did turn on Survivor 2 featuring Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
They did. And then they were like, oh, Donnie, you love her, I bet. She looks like Britney Spears. And guess what? I did love her. So much that when she was kicked off that season, I never watched Survivor again until COVID.
Wow.
When I binged it. Which, it was a proven fact. Studies show, Chelsea, that during quarantine, people watched Survivor in bulk that never watched it before because it was a way to get out of your house and in the elements and stuff.
Oh, into nature.
Yeah.
Now, you said binged, and I heard a loud noise outside. I thought it was Mike Tyson breaking in saying, you shouldn't binge, you fatty.
Now, Kith, the Cloverfield Paradox, the third Cloverfield movie, aired on Netflix immediately after the Super Bowl. The Glee Super Bowl special, that was an hour and a half long, aired immediately after the Super Bowl, was football themed. I learned on Instagram today from DeAndre the Giant that the Super Bowl themselves started making halftime shows bigger because Living Single one year knew that the halftime show was so boring that they aired an episode during halftime. They didn't air it at 9:30 or 8 or just in general. They literally waited until halftime. Everyone switched over to watch this episode of Living Single, and they had a countdown clock of when the game would be back on. So then you don't miss it and you could go back. So people know to use the Super Bowl to work for them.
Yeah, the NFL's rebuttal for that was next year. The following year, they had Michael Jackson. I saw that video too. I thought that was so interesting.
So this year, the only people that did that was Peacock. And they said, stream it after the Super Bowl, stream it after the Super Bowl. And guess what I did? Streamed it after the Super Bowl. The Burbs, starring Keke Palmer. I only watched the first episode so far, but it is right up my alley. Number one, it is based on a Tom Hanks movie. So we're pulling Tom Hanks out of things already. Love it. Number two, instead of Tom Hanks, make it Keke Palmer. Love it. Number three, guess where it's filmed, Chelsea?
Philadelphia.
Wisteria Lane.
What?
Yeah.
Pisces and Geminis, everything coming up.
It's our
this year. I heard that you're supposed to thank the universe when something good happens or when you notice something, you say thank you. So universe, on behalf of Donnie, thank you for that.
Thank you. This is all I ever wanted. And it feels spiritually like a Desperate Housewives companion piece because it's about this woman who moves to the suburbs with her white husband, and across the street
there's a woman keeping her son in the basement.
Hopefully. I'm only on the first episode. Across the street is this house of this girl that disappeared 20 years ago. And every time Keke Palmer looks in the windows, there's someone in there. And she's like, what is going on? And then she finds out that the boyfriend, because this is his street he grew up on, she finds out that her husband had a relationship with this girl the year before she went missing. So I am very excited.
So one more reminder, we are over on YouTube. Go over there, subscribe, comment. I've heard that commenting on our videos is the best way to boost us in the algorithm to be seen by other people who might be interested. And then hit that little bell button so that if we go live in the future, which maybe maybe things are coming, you'll be notified. Also, we have ad-free versions over on Patreon of all of our shows. We have the uncut, unedited versions. For example, right now, we are at minute 35. We haven't even hit headlines. So a whole bunch more content over on Patreon. And share the show with a friend. This week, I was having truly like the worst day ever. And someone had shouted us out on Reddit, and I burst into tears, happy tears. So thank you to everybody who is spreading the good word of this podcast. We are the little engine that could. We're growing slowly and steadily. And I think that it is like that boots on the ground, telling a friend who tells a friend that makes the vibes good. Because I've said it once, I'll say it 100 more times. There are some shows where I swear the listeners hate the hosts.
Yeah.
I don't know why they listen, but...
And the hosts hate each other. It's just...
And everybody hates everybody.
Yeah.
So I love that our chaotic cuties, like, I feel like any one of them, if I ran into them in a coffee shop, we would be besties.
Or if they found us on the ring cam.
They wouldn't turn us in.
So this week, Jill Zarin was fired. Speaking of people that would turn people in, this week, Jill Zarin was fired from the Roni spinoff on E! Only a week after the show was announced. Brooklyn Beckham covered the tattoo dedicated to his father. Rebecca Black's Friday turned 15. Demi Lovato canceled 5 of her tour stops. My sister and I are panicking. We want the best for her mental health, of course, but we also want that in addition to the New York stop of the tour. Demi, if you're listening. Pete Davidson asked Shark Tank for $500,000 for socks, and Bad Bunny crushed the halftime show and reminded us of what America should be during one of the most boring Super Bowl games in recent history.
I loved the halftime show.
Loved it.
Imagine that was like our big hot take. Like, aren't you glad you gave us a platform? I'd like to be the first to say, that was pretty good. No, I thought it was incredible. And it was truly art. Like, looking online the next day of all of the breakdowns and how intentional every single part of the performance was, the more I learned about it, the more emotional I got. It was so crazy that people were so up in arms about this performance because it was so inherently American. Like, the American dream, God bless America, and referencing all parts of North and South America. Like, all of it was so powerful, and down to him climbing the power lines as a reference to Puerto Rico not having consistent, as you would say, electric. All of the local businesses, so all of the stops that he went on along the way were local businesses and real life businesses that got so much love and support from being on that show. It
was incredible. I loved it. I'd rather not understand the words and be given what we were given than to understand the words and be given bullshit.
Kid Rock trying to rhyme tomorrow and bottle.
And here's the thing. I'm not here to market for those people over there, but they have Erica Kirk. Like, let baby girl do some cartwheels. I would have tuned in for that.
Give her a baton.
Yeah.
Do some more fireworks behind her.
Something. My God.
Yeah. It's just such a weird impulse to me. For somebody to be presented with a different culture or things that they don't know about and to be threatened by that versus curious.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I learned so much from looking into it afterwards. Like him using the Puerto Rican flag with the light blue because that was their flag before they were colonized. So that in itself was a statement. Everything was intentional and I learned so much. And I feel like it was a benefit to me. Like, I got things from it because I learned about something that I didn't know about before. It's just such a weird impulse to me for people to be mad about something that is different than what they know about.
And also, like, there are other feelings you can have besides obsessed or hating it. Like, you can simply just not care. So for people to be so up in arms about it, if it doesn't speak to you, it doesn't speak to you. When U2 was up there, I certainly didn't tune in, but I wasn't up there saying, this should be something else. I probably was. Don't go to my Twitter.
But I think it's just an example of, like, everything has to be for them.
The only disappointment for me was when we panned on that porch and I saw Cardi B, I thought we were getting a performance. So then when it just kept panning through wonderful celebrities, Jessica Alba, Pedro Pascal, the gang's all here.
Alex Earl, for
Yeah.
God knows what reason.
Yeah. But you know what? It's okay. Next year, we got them, boys.
We got them, boys. Let's move on to headlines. I want to talk about Summer House.
Okay.
It's back. My scientists are back. So far, everyone has been behaving themselves in the comment section. So they will be coming back to do more data this week. Well done, everybody. A golf clap for you for not being fucking weirdos in my comment section. Because let's not forget, that's why I stopped doing it. So go over there if you want to see the data. But just really quick, I'm cautiously optimistic about this season, Donnie. I know you don't watch. We have about 1,000 new characters.
Okay.
I'm thinking we're going to go places. We got one girl crying about being broken up in a sweet green. We have another girl wearing like a corn costume to the 4th of July party.
Like that American Girl doll.
And we have Amanda Batula finally not giving a flying fuck about Kyle. And I love it. I love to see it.
Good for her.
Now, what I don't love to see is Kyle Cook muttering to himself, because this man constantly is just like, oh, Amanda never gives me attention, as he's like drunkenly getting dressed and stuff. And he is starting to get the like Dorinda Medley slurring even when we're sober voice, which is concerning to me. But I hate when he mutters to himself, because he's not muttering to himself. This man has been on a reality show for 10 years. What he's doing is breaking the fourth wall and bitching about his wife to the audience. And I want to be like, sir, we've seen the past 10 summers. You're not going to trick us. You're not going to turn it around to make Amanda this bad guy.
Yeah.
And Amanda had a great line from this week's episode. She said, he wants me to be more fun, but he doesn't want me to be having fun. And I think that perfectly sums up their relationship.
I'm glad she's on the loose.
Yeah, I'm sad that we're not going to see her on the loose with Paige on the loose. But I think it's still going to be a great summer.
Yeah. And by next summer, she'll have women fingers in her vag for sure.
God willing.
That's the face of a bisexual. She got the cheekbones for it.
The last thing I will say about Summer House, Carl has introduced a new accessory. The white pants, still very much on the forefront, cupping those balls.
The white teeth matches.
He has now introduced a giant cowboy hat. A giant cowboy hat. And I don't know if it's because the attempt or the thought process is, if I wear this giant hat, it makes my giant teeth look more in proportion. But we are really working with some accessories this year from the cake eater.
Old cake eater himself. Speaking of bisexuals. Well, I guess not. Women have assholes, as we learned with the hair.
Which, thank you, everybody, for validating my experience. I started to worry when you reacted so strongly about it, but everyone did come together in these divisive times to confirm that they have pulled a hair out of their butthole. In fact, they say it's a canon event, and they want you to report back the first time it happens to you, because it will.
Okay. For mine, I already decided what my headline would be, and then I read the article, and it wasn't as fun as what the headline appears that it will be. But at this point, it was already written down, so I'm not changing it. But I want to talk about Kristen Stewart said she's still haunted by the ghost of Princess Diana after playing her in that movie.
Oh.
I know. So you hear that and you're like, oh, this is juicy. She'll be filming a Passions reboot in no time, famously Sheridan Crane's best friend. But then she just talks about how, like, whenever she visits Paris, she cries because she knows Princess Diana was in those streets, and she feels like, you know, she's a part of her after playing her, and she really knows what she went through, blah, 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 all that boring kinds of shit. But
so that
I
just
wanted,
means
like,
that you learned the script and you learned about her.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're haunted. That means that you are thinking of her.
Yeah, I wanted her, like, convulsing in the streets, speaking in British accent.
What lies beneath?
Yeah, oh, imagine.
I think your wife is starting to suspect something.
If you were what lies beneath by a celebrity, who would you want it to be? I have two. One, in terms of, like, what it could bring to the world, I think John Benet Ramsey. Because then imagine I was right now, you could ask, like, what happened? Please tell me. You have the mic for 5 minutes. What happened? And I could tell you.
And imagine you in that press conference wearing a little Bo Peep wig.
I would look like Gypsy Rose, though. That's the problem. So that's in terms of what it could bring to the world, and in terms of, like, what knowledge we could learn. In terms of vibes, and maybe not changing anything, I think Anna Nicole Smith. If I was just turned into
Oh.
Anna Nicole Smith right now, there's a chance you might not know.
There is actually quite a high possibility that I would just continue the show as normal. Okay.
Sugar pie. I say that.
I think Richard Simmons.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that could be a fun one. And you would know when I would show up for a recording because you wouldn't be caught dead in the outfits I wear.
No, and then we'd be doing our steps together.
Well, let's move on to Cutie of the Week.
Okay. Let me go first. Doechii, famous bisexual, added lesbian to her Instagram bio. So she's ditching the men and fully scissoring now.
Love that. Good for you, Doechii.
My boyfriend and I, we do this sometimes. You know how we're cute like this in photos. Sometimes we do the wicked finger grab to each other, but now we've started going into a scissor right after.
Cute.
Yeah, we turned it into our own little handshake.
When you did this, it was right after saying scissoring. And you said, my boyfriend and I was really trying to think of like, what sex act is that? But I should have known. You guys love your handwork.
We do love handwork.
My cutie of the week, or should I say hottie of the week, Boston Rob.
What did
Not
he do?
present day, but I do like his podcast with Bob the Drag Queen. But you know that I am not familiar with past competition shows in general. You got me into Big Brother.
Yeah.
I have never watched Survivor. So I didn't know about Boston Rob. I'm introduced to these characters through the traders. So it started out, I was looking at Natalie's Survivor history. And then, you know how YouTube works. Then it's like, here's the next one. Here's the next one. Oh, do you want to know about Suri and all the women making that dude give up his immunity necklace and then girl powering him right on to jury? Iconic. Then I get to Boston Rob.
Hot.
Pardon me for not knowing my herstory.
I know.
Good God, that man was hot. I watched a whole 60-minute compilation video of him falling in love with his wife.
Amber.
But Donnie, I realized, like, obviously I knew about Survivor, mostly like the bandanas and that everybody looks a little dirty. I didn't know, like, they didn't get beds.
No, they don't get beds. They don't get anything, really. There's usually a competition in the beginning. If your tribe wins, you get like a flint, maybe a tarp or whatever. If you don't win that competition, then your tribe has no flint and you have no tarp over your shelter that you have to build from coconut trees and stuff.
I don't know what I thought it was, but I always said, fuck no, I'll never go on Survivor. I thought it was like glamping.
No,
like I
not
thought
at
you
all.
were like, maybe you didn't have a mosquito net in your tent.
Oh, no, not at all. And then it's even worse than it looks because when Elizabeth was on it, she was so malnourished, her hair was falling out in clumps.
And production doesn't step in?
Not for stuff like that, no.
This does make me want to go back and watch.
Watch what?
Here's my pitch.
Uh-huh.
And I might regret this. We are close to the mid-season finale of Gossip Girl. And we've said we're going to take a break after that and move on to something else and then circle back maybe over the summer for Gossip Girl. We also, and I guess I can exclusively announce this here, we will be doing content for BB40. So starting April 1st, here on our YouTube, every Wednesday will be a Big Brother episode. And then over on Patreon, we will be doing an interview like behind the scenes, here's what's happening. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, we will also be interviewing the person who was evicted that week to get their perspective for things. So that'll be the companion piece of like on YouTube, you'll get BB40, on Patreon, you'll get the bonus content.
Why did I act like I was surprised by that? Ooh, good idea.
I think it was just a guttural like, So that will be happening starting in April, which I believe if I do my math correctly, which you know I'm not known to do, that gives us a couple of weeks.
I'll pull up a calendar right now.
During Donnie Appreciation Month, where we have a break between Gossip Girl and when BB40 starts. So what if on the Patreon, in honor of Donnie Appreciation Month, what if you picked like 3 or 4 iconic Survivor episodes for me to watch? And then I can also then like ask questions like, wait, where are the beds? And you can give me the lore drop of the show of Survivor.
Okay. I think we'll definitely do the one with the women, making that man give up the necklace. I mean, you know, the big thing, but still.
But I don't know the build up to it.
So we'll do that. Maybe we'll watch, I'll ask my sister what would be the best episode to watch of the race war season, but I definitely think you should see that.
Jesus Christ.
And then I would love for you to see a Sandra moment, but I'll think about which one.
Well, slide into Donnie's DMs if you're a Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
You have ideas.
Perfect. I'll listen. And that's it. That's everything. Now I have a pep in my step. I'm going to go watch Survivor and see what ones to watch. If you like this episode, please send it to someone else who might enjoy it. And remember, on YouTube, if you're there, please leave a comment. That really gets us into other people's algorithms. And then we can stop begging you for the help. And on that note, we will talk to you later. Love you like a sister. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to I Am the Cute One. If you want more, head to patreon.com/IamTheCuteOne for uncut, unedited, and unhinged video and audio footage of current episodes, as well as even more bonus content.
And if you like what you heard, please be sure to leave a 5-star rating and subscribe to our show. And to help us grow this community of chaotic cuties, share an episode with a friend you think would pass the vibe check.
And to see the madness, check out our YouTube channel, where video footage from all current episodes are posted weekly.
You can follow me at Real Donnywood on Instagram and all other social media platforms.
And if you want more of my personal brand of chaos, check me out at Oh No Chels.
Talk to you later. Love you like a sister.